Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing you how to replace this refractory panel on a fireplace. The one that I got is a little bit larger than this, so I'll go ahead and show you how to cut that replacement panel down to size to fit in here. We're going to go ahead and get this all cleaned up. I'll show you how to take these two panels out, this one out here, replace it, put everything in back together. It's pretty simple. You just need some hand tools and a circular saw with a masonry blade, and that's pretty much it. So let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is remove that log grate and get all those ashes out of there. I like to start with a small broom and a large dustpan just to get most of the ashes out, and then I'll follow up with a quick vacuum. Just make sure to get in between all the cracks because those ashes like to sit in the cracks in between the refractory panels. Okay, now that the fireplace has been cleaned out, we're ready to remove the refractory panels. Now in this fireplace, the refractory panels are held in by 3 brackets, one securing the top of each refractory panel. And these brackets are secured to a sheet metal flange by small sheet metal screws. So start by removing the sheet metal screws that secure the refractory panel brackets. I'm using a 5/16 inch bit driver to remove the screws. Next, remove the brackets and set them aside with the sheet metal screws. Now we're ready to remove the refractory panels. Start by removing both of the side refractory panels first by pulling out the top halves out first, then sliding up and out. Just be careful not to damage any refractory panels that you plan on reinstalling. Lastly, remove the rear refractory panel along with any log grate brackets. Alright everybody, we got all the side refractory panels out here. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick vacuum, get the rest of this remaining ash up. As you can see here, this is where that crack was at in that rear refractory panel. I actually saw another one starting on this bottom one here, so I'm going to have to get that taken care of pretty soon as well. But just wanted to show you guys what it looks like behind the refractory panels. Again, this is where the crack was, and I'm going to go ahead and get this vacuumed up. Alright everybody, so I got the old panel out. This is the replacement refractory panel, and it is not new by any means. This is a used panel. I have a family member that actually works in the fireplace restoration business, and he pulled this out of an old job. Now I looked this thing over, it's got no cracks, everything's good on it, it's just a little dirty, but there's no reason why we can't use it. So we'll be taking this panel here, putting it on top of this panel, basically cutting this one down to size, and it should go pretty smooth. To make our cuts, we're going to be using this 7-inch masonry blade that I picked up from my local big box store for under $20. The first thing you're going to want to do is take the old refractory panel and place it on top of the replacement panel. Make sure to line up one of the corners first, then line up the 2 sides flush to each other. Then, with a pencil or marker, scribe a line down both edges of the old refractory panel. These will be your guidelines when you make your cut on the replacement panel. Now that you have your guidelines, remove the old panel from the replacement panel and position the panel on a surface that will allow you to safely trim off the unneeded portions. Using clamps to help you secure the panel to your work surface helps a lot to ensure that the panel does not move while you're making your cuts. The last thing that you want is the panel to move as you're cutting. Just make sure that whatever surface you decide to use to make your cuts on, that the cutting blade isn't going to come in contact with anything other than the panel. As you can see, my panel is hanging off the edge of my work surface. And before you start cutting, make sure you're wearing safety glasses and a dust mask or respirator, because as you can see, this makes a lot of dust and small chunks of the panel may kick up at you. And when you're cutting the panel, let the saw do the work. Once you're finished, you should have a nice straight and smooth edge on your panel. Alright everybody, we got the panel cut. We are ready to install the panels back into the fireplace, and now's a good time to check the rest of the panels as well. Now I did check these two side panels, everything looked great there. However, this bottom panel has a small crack starting, so I'm going to have to get that replaced here very soon. But for now, let's get this fireplace back together. The installation process is the reverse of removal. Start by installing the rear refractory panel by inserting the bottom edge behind the bottom refractory panel's rear edge, and then pushing the top until it sits all the way back in the sheet metal. The bottom refractory panel helps hold in the bottoms of all the other panels while the tops are held in place by those brackets. Make sure to install the log grate brackets if necessary. Next, install both side refractory panels in the same manner, again making sure that you slip the bottom edge of the refractory panels behind the edge of the bottom panel. Install all of the upper brackets in their original positions and then secure them by installing the sheet metal screws. Finally, install the log grate and this job is done. Alright everybody, we got everything installed. We got this rear refractory panel replaced. No more cracks. We got both side panels in. We got the log grate in. Everything's nice and tight. So all in all, I'd say everything went pretty smooth. So if you like this video, please give me a like, a comment, or subscribe. And definitely thanks a lot for watching. Take care.